So now we complete the dynamic array template. So then you will see here is our complete implementation for our dynamic array. So how to test our dynamic array header file. You will see we still have our operator getter and setter. We still have our constructor. So then since that's a template function, so then we need to test different data type. So basically our dynamic array test driver will be similar as before. But one thing is, since we have the dynamic memory management, so that's why we add these three new functions. So we will see these three new functions, how should we add that in our test driver. So the first one, destructor function. How can we test the destructor function? Actually, destructor function is really cannot be tested because destructor function will not be called until you code delete or the program finish. So that's why destructor function sometimes we want to see is we will print some output from the destructor function. But in our test driver, we don't want you to really write any output. So that's why here for those three new functions, they all need to be tested and added into the test driver. But about testing our destructor function, there really is no code to add it. So the only thing is you only can do is look at the code to see if did you include the destructor function. So if your test driver run and terminate without any error, then either your destructor function is successfully called, or you see you may not code, so then you have memory leak. So the only thing for destructor function, the easier way we just see did you implement that or not. So visually to check did you have destructor function included. So then the other two, we have the copy constructor and assignment operator. So the next one I want to talk about. The first one, we see how to test our copy constructor. To invoke a copy constructor, we need to create a new array. We either create a new array, then at the same time assign to the old array, or you declare this array, then have that original array passing by parameter. So either these two statements, they will invoke the copy constructor. So that's why here is the sample code, how you will test your copy constructor. So we just assume we already have the A, so we make D is the copy from A. So you need to use assert to check the capacity is the same. But capacity is the same is not enough. So that's why we need to make sure you have a for loop to check each element from the A and D, they are the same. So even they are the same, still not enough. Because the most important thing for the copy constructor, why we need to implement that, is we need to make sure they don't have the shallow copy. That means the pointer not refer to the same array. So that's why then the second part, after you check they are all the same, right? Then you need to have a second for loop. So then this second for loop, you need to change the content in the original array or our copy constructor array, either way. Anyway, you need to change one of them to verify it's not a shallow copy. So that's why here you see, after we have a for loop, we increment the value for each one. So when you do the AI++, this one is for the either numeric data or character data, they are fine. But for the string, you need to concatenate a character at the end. So that's why you need to see how to write that. But this example, I only give you the numeric data example. So you see after you increment each element, right, by 1, so then you see since the original data being changed, so then they shouldn't be the same as the copy constructor. So that's the copy constructor testing. Okay, so here we just add if for the string, for the string data type, you cannot do the increment. So then you can do is we just add appended 1 at the end of each string. So then you see you change the content from the original array. So that's for the copy constructor. So then you can guess for assignment operator will be similar. So the assignment operator, you will see assignment operator, the difference is you need to initialize the array first, then we assign. So that's why in the second statement, they will call the assignment operator. So when we do the assignment operator, the same thing, you need to create another array, E. So if we already have A, we assign E equal to A. So the first thing, right, let's check their capacity is the same or not. Let's check their data content is the same or not. But the most important thing at the end, don't forget, we need to check if they are a shallow copy or not. So that's why we try to modify each element in the A. So then we will see A shouldn't be the same as E for each element. So the same thing, this one for the string data type, you need to, instead using AI++, AI++ is only for the numeric data. So then for string, you can just append the 1 at the end. So that's our assignment operator testing. So here is our complete list to show you what kind of testing you need to put in your test driver. So that's for your assignment 4 part 1. So that's here is all the tests you should do in the test driver. You need to test all the public function to make sure they work. So the public member function, including the constructor function, operator setter, operator getter you have before, constant object testing. So then we need to have a new copy constructor testing. We need to have a new assignment operator testing. So the if not defined testing, you already have that, so you need to include that too. So don't forget, you need to include your library twice. So then the next one, actually the last one, we didn't talk about the capacity setter function testing. So this one actually you can combine when you do the assignment operator setter function testing. So what we can do here is you can, for example, you define an array A size is 50. So then you assign index 100. You see, remember before when you assign index equal to 100, we need to check dummy value, right? But now actually afterward, you don't check the dummy value. If your index is greater than the original capacity, so the capacity setter function actually will be called by the operator setter function. So that's why at that time you can check your capacity setter function. So make sure you will include that in your testing. So here is the complete testing for the dynamic array. But remember, all the test is for each data type. So in your assignment 4, I require you need to pick one primitive data type and one string. So that's why you need to make sure for each data type, you need to complete all the testing, then you do the other one. So then since here I talk about that, I just quickly to show you my sample output from the test driver for assignment 4. So that's why here we say you need to have primitive data type int, double or char, you choose one. So you see you have double dynamic array testing. So you test everything. Here only the sample output. So you just need to show here you have setter function testing, you have capacity setter, you have constant operator testing, constant object. So then you have copy constructor assignment operator. So after you finish the whole thing for one data type, then you move forward to the second data type, string. So string, we need to make sure you test one object, right? So string is one object type. So then the same thing, capacity testing, setter function testing, including the operator setter and the capacity setter. So then you see the new capacity should change. So then you have getter function testing from the constant object. So then you have copy constructor and the assignment operator testing. So this one is our text driver for our dynamic array.